Hi, I'm Brad Dittmer, and I teach English at Westbury High School. I'm also the gifted support teacher for the high school and middle school. I teach AP English Language and Comp, and that's where I get to do a lot of my interdisciplinary stuff, as well as in gifted support, I get to teach anything or everything. Let me hide this, it doesn't look cool. I'm currently learning a lot more engineering and design stuff and less science per se, but I look forward to doing more science. In AP English, my kids often write a research paper with an ethical science question, and they do a lot of scientific article reading then. I also will be guiding some students through the STEM fair process next year, and I hope this course will help me with that. How do students learn science? Well, they have to build a conceptual framework. They start with preconceptions and need to either correct them or build upon them. And they need to be using a pattern of inquiry, trying to ask questions and test hypotheses and do science, you might say. That doesn't mean just hands-on, which could just be doing lip service to inquiry. Conceptual frameworks could also be a problem. If they are a misconception that isn't corrected, then students are going to fail to learn the facts and they'll have no good reason to have them in the first place. They also may not have a good culture for learning where they're going to ask questions and really build that conceptual framework in the first place. You'd be shocked what 7th graders can say about the nature of life and the definition of an organism. Gives a new meaning to a pet rock. My little girl doesn't have any of that fear of inquiry. She asked how it do that, and I wish my kids would ask that at the high school level. That she said, "What? Why is it pink? How it do that?" And I said, I don't know. Is it filtering or is it reflecting? Could it be both? Smoked glass seems to be an obscuring process, but I know that these lenses are also just filtering out certain wavelengths and leaving the pink for us to see. I don't know. I don't have time to look it up, but someday. Instructional shortfalls. As an English teacher, do I become a science teacher? Are we all science teachers? This is part of my scientific perspective as well, my STEM perspective. Every year somebody does a science-y research paper and can't quite pull off the science, and I feel like I don't have time to teach a whole college research methods class while teaching a college rhetoric class. So there's one barrier. It's a work in progress for me in my classroom. My 6th graders did a National Geographic Geo Challenge, and just trying to get them to actually put the work in to do inquiry and to go beyond their preconceptions was difficult. So they kind of latched onto ideas and went with them, and I wasn't allowed to really interfere too much in the contest that we were entering, and tried to steer them the best that I could. My STEM perspective, I'm kind of a policy skeptic. I think back to the Cold War and today, the push for STEM is a little bit of a global competition situation, and I don't think students should be a pawn to that game, but it's also their lives to thrive in an economy, so I get it. I'm a coordinator and sometimes combiner of disciplines, so I often work with the physics teacher who's our programming teacher as well, or go and send an email to the bio teacher about what enrichment they can provide. So STEM is interdisciplinary and it's collaborative.